Now you guys wake up to an actually resplendent morning. It is utterly, gorgeously beautiful in every meaning of the word. When you wake up in your dusty, sort of ramshackled set of bedding back at your newfound home over at Troll Skull Manor, you guys basically huddled around each other for warmth, and between the beams that are like covering a lot of the windows, although you've been good with your prestidigitation, Adrian, there's only so far a cantrip will take you for a mansion, and dust will resettle into the air. And when it does so, it creates this fantastical, beautiful, wonderful picture. Through the beams of the woodwork, the planks that are covering over the like the windows and whatnot, you can see glittering, sparkling bits of dust hanging ever so perfectly still in the vertically, like diagonally, like square planes of beaming golden light that comes in through this morning. And it is a cold morning, though it is a sunny morning with very clear skies, and you can't hear a thing, nothing to disturb this beautiful, pristine morning. You guys gently awaken to just this glittering, hanging mass of dust that keeps settling in the air. And one by one, you guys gently wake up in what otherwise is your new home. Now then, Adrian. Oh yeah, I forgot about our Dragonborn. Our Dragonborn, Pally. Is that not right?
Yep.
So, yeah. Okay. Alright, sweet. Alright, I'll keep that in mind. That's that, and that's that. So, Ponk. When you wake up, the first thing is... well, maybe not the first thing. You guys kind of stretch out. You cuddle in this mass that you are because you decided not to, like, huddle yourselves in the dirty kind of wrappings that are there. You do basically start... you start stretching out, and when you start to finally, like, have a piss and you realize that your toilet's out and you're gonna maybe have to risk it, you get a sound of a voice, a female voice, that enters into your mind. I am Vadra Saphir, the Blackstaff. Come to Blackstaff Tower in the castle ward at once. Bring your friends.
And Ponk hears that?
Only Ponk hears this. Only Ponk.
Okay.
To the rest of you, the silence is undisturbed. I will ask all of you to make me a nature check, please.
All right.
I think
You may
I
all
have
give me
negative nature. Oh, nope. Nature's in.
Also, Marco, let's just get your person there. There we go. Alright, so, Adrian? You don't know. But Scrumps, otherwise known as Mr. Paladin Dragonborn, Razuf, you are aware that autumn is coming around. You know, it's here. You're in the season of autumn and fall. And for Magura, you understand that today is one of the last days that there will be some actual warmth that actually settles into the buildings. You're in that absolute perfect state where everything is warmed because the sun is heating the bits of ornate architecture and cobblestones, and the chill winds that are beginning to come down far from the north are beginning to siphon that heat away in an exact perfect equilibrium. And you know that within 1 or 2 days, it's all going to start going down to being colder from here, with more chill night air. Dry and pristine, but still chill and cold.
You just see like Pong just like at first he just looked into like 1,000-yard stare, and suddenly he's like and run and hit onto this wall and just collapse.
Excellent. Make me a Constitution saving throw, please. Never mind. You've already chosen to fail and collapse. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Ponk. Since you've done this with enough force to knock you out, roll me a d4, please.
Oh god.
Excellent. You'll wake up in the next 2 hours.
I just love the image. At first he just like suddenly like boom.
Hmm.
I mean,
Right. Well, okay then. That happened.
The
Yeah.
secret goes with Ponk for the time being. But how do you three prepare to conduct your affairs today?
so, Megara, she scoots over to Ponk and, make sure he's okay, and even maybe just like if he's, breathing, if he looks perfectly fine, she'd probably just, takes whatever he was resting on last night and just puts it under his head. So, like, if he had a pillow.
Yeah, you put him in the recovery position, of course. Absolutely. As for you, Megara, after you do this, you can hear you hear a very delicate, like nail, like a single fingertip, tapping at what must be a very small opening between some of the planks that cover up one of these windows. Kind of comes over from this private bath area.
Does only she hear it?
Actually, sorry, that placement is wrong. From where you are, you'll hear it over this side.
Okay.
And
So-
no, she doesn't just alone hear it, but you're the first to catch it out.
So, assuming that it's a bird, she opens up the windows to have a look.
Well, the
You-
windows are boarded up, right?
They are.
Right, yeah.
However, when you do begin to open up this window from this side, it is like a vertical sliding kind, and the boarded up part ahead of you are still in place. You see what appears to be this paper-esque bird with these arcane glyphs that are sort of on it. And these glyphs are kind of like in some kind of letter format. And in Discord, I will show you what they look like, because I can do this properly now.
Yay.
Check it out. It looks like this kind of paper bird that's been folded up in an origami kind of state. And when you open it, it reads, Venia tells us you are a good bet. He brought you tickets to the opera tonight at the Lightsinger Theatre in the Sea Ward. If you are interested, meet Mert at intermission. Private box C. Formal attire is required for admittance.
So, I start with fine clothes. So would that count as formal attire?
You have no formal attire to speak of. None at all. Well, excuse me.
Okay.
I jumped the gun. This is Adrian talking, aren't you?
Yes, indeed.
So, you do have formal attire. It's what you wore to maybe your uncle's funeral, or maybe one of your other family members' funeral, as I do imagine that the Fairbrand House estate is a particularly drab and downbeat sort of place, isn't it?
That wouldn't be entirely inaccurate.
Yeah, so you do have formal attire, and it will do just fine, but it's not colourful, it's not resplendent, it's all very formal and businesslike.
Got it.
As for you, Megara, you don't quite have. You are a
Noble.
noble here, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have formal attire, and what kind of I feel like you are a fashionable tiefling. You
Yeah.
definitely have stuff on hand that you can call up from home if you need it.
Yeah. I mean, if her picture's anything to go by.
Yeah, certainly. Which I imagine is just what we have to go by. Yeah, you could definitely search out some fashion for a tiefling as well. But you got something you can gather up. Now, Mr. Razuf, being an acolyte and being a dragonborn and being a paladin, you don't have formal attire. You have maybe you can polish up your armor, but you don't have something to go to a theater opera with.
Nope.
No. So you might need some help, and Ponk is a dirty monk kobold. So the answer to if he has formal attire is no.
Right. Well, I might have something from when I was a kid for this one, and I gesture towards Ponk. That would fit. However, and I gesture towards our dragonborn friend who is quite larger than me.
Yes.
There's nothing I can do for this one here.
Yeah. No, he's definitely a built paladin, definitely for sure.
And he doesn't quite have the, like, when you think paladin, you usually think like shining, resplendent armor. I'm guessing his armor's not quite that sort yet.
No. Pass me down armor.
Certainly. Second hand. That's fair. That's fair. But yeah, that's something you get. With the paper bird situation, yeah. I was just interested in oh no, it's just the one and it's used up. There's no reusing it. Yeah, it basically turns to ash after you read it. Not in a fiery, explosive manner, just a sort of sad kind of decay to dust to join all the rest of the dust of your place.
We're
Fucking
gonna have to clean that up.
mages making us a mess.
Speaking of, Adrian, make me a history check with advantage, please.
Indeed. One moment, my reading is awful. There we go.
This
Thank
was made
you for
with
the advantage.
Yeah. You remember that now was the time to check back in with your watchful order of magists and protectors. And it comes to think to you that maybe you ought to check back in with, Magura if she is part of this order, because basically it is a state requirement that you must be signed up with them if you can perform magic. Excuse me. And you are at their disposal if the court requires it. It's kind of like a social enlisting. Kind of like during World War II for Britain. I think this was all voluntarily. It wasn't necessarily forced upon. But every man who had a vessel must declare it for the case of trying to rescue people from Normandy, Dunkirk, back to England. This could entirely be inaccurate, but it's a situation similar. If there is like a state emergency and every magician and caster needs to be called upon, this is the place that will funnel them through. And today is the day to reinstigate some paperwork, you know?
So, considering where Megara actually comes from, so how far-reaching is this thing? Is this like all over?
This is contained exclusively to Waterdeep. If anybody considers themselves a resident to Waterdeep, this is a state requirement.
Okay.
Yes, quite right. So, I suppose I should ask before we get going. Ponk, I know it's not the case for you. I don't know either of you two well enough yet. Are
He's
there
that
of you
cold.
users of the arcane arts?
I am.
Not particularly.
Not particularly. I assume you're hinting towards something else, but that's quite fine. So long as it's not arcane magic, people don't care. No offense.
Razuf, are you a local here as well?
Yeah.
So this
Somewhat.
works a little differently for you. When you exhibit powers, of which come divinely given to you through your own means or through a divine entity who supports your goals, you will just declare yourself to a church. This naturally belongs to whoever, but they do the process for you. They just ask for a name and who you're devout to, and they do
Right.
the rest.
Then it should be processed.
Yeah.
Already have processed, yeah.
Definitely. Who would be a worshipping god for you? Because your magic comes divinely, so
Yeah.
it's not quite the arcane, but they still want to keep track. So, who is a god that you are devout to? I always believe paladins don't need to follow a god, but for the sake of the Waterdeep system, what god
Yeah.
do you like?
He's an acolyte, so he needs like to have a church and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a follower of Tyr.
Very good. Yes, definitely. There is plenty of churches. Well, there is a main, definitely heavy-set church to Tyr in Waterdeep, and during the time of troubles, which Magua, I think you can even confirm or deny, that when the gods did descend in avatar form, Waterdeep was the main stomping ground that they based themselves from as they tried to perform their quasi-deity powerful sort of reorganizing of the cosmos. Is that kind of true?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
So the attention to the gods that did descend during that time are especially prevalent in here. So Tyr, for sure, has a proper place here. Absolutely.
Great.
Anyway, yeah. So that's some
Alright.
order of business for you guys to attend to. You can leave Ponk, or you can wait to have him. Please make sure you mark off that you've used the day of rations as either today's or yesterday's food, but let's mark that off.
Quite right. So, for the list of what we have to do for today, currently, as it sits, Malgura and I have to go visit the Watchful Order. And in addition to this, we have the opera later. Punk is unconscious. I have no clue what it is he needs to do.
Very good.
However, I don't feel quite comfortable leaving him unconscious in this haunted
So-
place. So,
Yeah.
Rezeth, would you mind taking him if you would be so kind?
Yeah, no
Well-
problem.
Magara actually, she's gonna cast Prestidigitation and basically try and just like, make a little alarming sound just to sort of wake him up,
That could work. I also
or
like the idea.
spray water
I-
with him. But
I was also
Correct.
liking the idea. It can be a harmless sensory thing. So I was just thinking you could make him get the smell of pepper and make him
I
sneeze
was
himself awake if you
I was
wanted.
actually gonna say I'll assist with that by creating the odor of smelling salts
yeah,
Very cool.
under his nose.
You assault
It's a trap.
Ponk with alarms and smelling salts. Ponk, make me a con saving throw, please.
Okay.
You have advantage. At advantage, he's still asleep. It's not like your effects don't get through to him. He just kind of sits up from the alarm in shock. He sneezes because of the smelling salts, and the kickback sends his head careening right back to the floor, and he knocks himself out again.
but I put that pillar, that pillar down for him.
Excellent. Ponk, roll me a d4.
You
Plus-
just don't know the force of
plus
that
2.
sneeze, though.
Yeah,
It
Roll me
was
a
it was
D4
like
plus
a
2.
jet propellant.
it really was.
Pillow won't help
Ah,
with that.
excellent. You are passed out for the next 6 hours.
Ugh.
Oh God!
Aw.
So yes, Razeth, please take Punk.
All right, time to get up.
I'll, I'll collect this. This is hilarious.
Yeah.
I just pick him up and throw it over my shoulder.
He is I mean, he's a kobold to begin with, but he's a monk, so he's especially light. You may as well be carrying a damp sock, really, in comparison to your strength, so this is no problem at all.
Yeah.
And, one business that you guys haven't dealt with yet that you may well care to is, you have neighbors that live nearby. You've seen the billowing smoke that's come from one of their homes, and, it might interest you to inspect the others.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's almost as if like as you're saying this, it's sort of dawning on Megara, and she's just like, "Oh dear, we've got neighbors, and I haven't baked anything."
It is true, but you do have an out of order bakery and kitchen, so you can be forgiven.
Yeah. So I believe, yeah, the orders of business we have are watchful order, neighbors, Razeth with his church, the opera, and then from a metagaming standpoint, although none of us actually know this, the Blackstaff.
You may actually miss this if Punk stays asleep, but it's cool. We'll see. But anyway, yes, so I'm going to just bring all this information up. Whoa, 10 feet. Okay, yeah, so actually this is, to scale, this is actually kind of a large whole environment. Yeah, ooh. This should help you get a bit more of a scale, but you should see that Skull Manor is definitely enclosed in a kind of suburban sort of enclosure here, and the map should be loading for you. But yeah, each of these numbers are a place that you might consider visiting. They do happen to be shops all in all, so it's not like they're just random neighbors, but you're welcome to go and inspect those too. If you want to be efficient, though, this would be a set to do with. For example, your nearest neighbor, connected through some of these semi-detached houses, it can be found over here. This seems to be at a place that has a wooden sign above the main door that is bare except for a large nail sticking out of it. So it's not like it's engraved. It's a wooden sign that has a huge nail bent out of shape stuck inside of it.
And that's it?
Yes.
Interesting.
If you were interested in a place with the profuse steam and smoke, that would definitely be this place over here, which you can tell by its location. Coming across from you, across the street from you, if I get this location right, you can see on the other side of the road, Corellan's Crown. I'll copy and paste that for you. And this is like your neighbor literally across the street. What you can see from like the windows is you can see a wood elf who's working around, and they have some very beautiful golden hair that's tied up in an interesting fashion. It's a very neutral kind of fashion that you're kind of looking over again at. And that being said, they seem to be tending to a variety of growing herbs, and on the other side of the shop counters, you can see a variety of jars with various kind of ichors that may be contained within.
I'd like to pop by Corellan's Crown, actually.
Very good. So,
Because it's...
yeah, go on.
You said it's right across the street, so it'd be the first place I see, right?
Totally.
For the most part.
Absolutely.
Got it.
So, you can see that from across the street, they do have this long braided hair. Kind of, Mr. Razuf, make me a religion check, please.
All right.
Let's see. Yeah, that's
bad.
good. You recognize this as specifically stylized after Corellan Larefian. This is the elven god who is all about peace and is actually a gender-neutral god. They are neither he or she. They are a neutral entity of peace, of the elven pantheon. And you can use this information to make your own assumptions from there.
A worshipper. Yeah, we should definitely say hi.
When you enter in, this wood elf definitely comes to you and goes, "Why, hello and greetings. I was wondering if I would get to see you today, but I'm glad to see you are in good order. Who do I have the pleasure of addressing today?
Good morning, sir. Or ma'am.
Excuse me,
I'm sorry.
it's
You said gender neutral, so.
call me Fowler, please. I don't. I prefer the pronoun of they, please. If it happens a lot, so don't worry about it.
I'm quite. Good morning.
Yeah.
This is quite a nice establishment you have. Are you an apothecary, if you don't mind me asking?
I am. Yes, I'm a apothecary and herbalist. I'm part of the guild members of apothecaries, if you know of them.
Yes, I'm somewhat familiar. It's always been a field that's interested me, although I haven't had much time for study myself.
Well, might not be too wrong to teach you some things, perhaps. I'd have to charge you. I do have rent I need to keep up with, but I'd be open to the idea if you were.
I'm most certainly open to the idea. It seems like, and I glance around, and I'm just saying, it seems like you're quite capable.
I make do with a few things. Why don't I show you what I can do? And she takes you over to. Excuse me, I'm doing my own bad thing. They take you over. D&D is all about inclusivity. This is the one place and the one time I will pay attention to these details, as they are important in the City of Splendors, and I will make sure I keep true to them. So they take you over, or Fala, as they have, Fala Lafayette, as they are called, takes you over to the side of the wall where they keep their pots of potions set aside. The first one you can see is a small little portal-esque style little circular kind of rounded stick person or blocky person that's petting the head of a bunny. And the second one you can see is another blocky person who is scaling up they seem to be scaling up a building side. Another one is a person who has like not one outlined kind of edging to them, but two, with a large pumping heart in the middle of their chest. And you have another one that's like that to a smaller degree, and another one that has that blocky person swimming in the water, perfectly fine, and gives a little like blocky thumbs up.
Right. Do you mind if I make some guesses as to what these potions do?
I imagine you are quite intelligent enough to be able to make a guess. But please tell me, I'll be able to correct you with this game. In fact,
Right.
you guess all of them correctly, I'll give you a 5% discount.
Oh, geez, the pressure's on. Now then, the one, and I point to the one with the blocky person, that would be a potion of spider climb, correct?
Oh, you've already failed. Although I should have left that to the end, but and now we're just playing for sport, so, maybe there'll be a consolation prize. Not too far off, though. If it was, I would have made a spider, but this is a potion of climbing. You just messed it up with the semantics, is all. Why don't you keep guessing?
Potion of water breathing, and I point to the person swimming.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
You've got 3 more to go.
I don't know the exact names, but I know what everything would do. There's a potion of shrinking and a potion of growth.
Is that one of your guesses?
Sure.
No, I'm sorry, you're wrong there too.
And then I can't remember what the rest of them were.
They give you a little bit of a smirk. They go, well, let's give you 5% discount anyway. You've given me some valuable customer services. I thought if I tried making them kind of bland like this, that they would be more recognizable in their features, but apparently I was wrong. I'll go back over them and see if I can't label them better. We'll give you that 5% discount anyway, eh? How about that? Just as a welcoming present.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. With that, what business would you guys like to get on with?
Well,
Is anyone else in here with me?
Oh yeah, your team has followed along after you as
Oh,
they come
okay.
into the...
Yeah, and you have
Oh, if that was
you
the
have Punk
case,
on your back, someone back, I assume.
Yeah, mine.
Go on.
Just looking at potions.
Oh yeah.
So what I didn't actually say anything because of I thought I was still outside, but Megara would have pointed out the two potions that have the three potions, the two that have the sort of outlines of the hearts,
Yeah.
and she would guess small healing and moderate healing.
Fella gives you a kind of so-so with the hand to suggest that you're not far off. It was just a matter of how you worded it, but you are pretty much correct.
And the other one is speak to animals.
She gives you a thumbs down for that one as they go. No, I'm very sorry. That one is for animal friendship.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
Close.
close, pretty close.
So, actually, I do have one question. Do you have something that could potentially wake this one up? And I point to Ponk.
That's an interesting one. All right. Let's see what we can work out. So Fala then looks through each of the plants that they have on hand. They do so with a very gentle sort of poise, as you can see from their movements and from their gentle caressing over each flower petal and leaf, as they do cover over each one. And eventually they go, I'm noticing a bruise on the back of his head. That may be an issue. Would you please gently lie them down for me?
Alright, just gently dropping on the floor.
Oh, thank you very much. I have a pillow upstairs in the bedroom. Will one of you please kindly get that for me?
Okay, well, Megara will do that, and as she gets up, she says, "Yes, he woke up with quite a start. He must have had a nightmare and ran into the wall."
Oh, I'm so sorry for the poor dear. Let's see what I can do. And they pick out a white kind of petaled flower that has its outer rim in a very sudden and sharp little line of purple. And they take that one out, and they basically gently take off each leaf petal and gently fold them into a stacked pile. And they then they don't take the mortar and pestle to use, but they keep it nearby, just like planting something extra. They then go to another plant and collect a couple of seeds from the kind of inner bulb of that plant, and they then begin to grind that up, and they go, this should lessen how long they fall asleep for. It's not good to let these things happen so quickly, but as in to force them, but we can speed things along to a very close speed, which will be safe for him, I believe. And they crush up the seeds. They then take the flower petals and they then kind of spread them out as a card dealer would spread cards over a table, just in the palm of their hand. And they take the crushed seeds and they pour it in a line across the leaves they picked earlier, and then carefully curling their fingertips around in their palm and then rolling the palm inward, they kind of roll it into a sort of flowery cigarette in a sense. As they basically go, they then get a small blade and they cut their own rolled floral concoction in half. And they say, gently hold up his head and prop it underneath the pillow for me, please. And as you comply, they stick both of these sort of rolls in both of Ponk's nostrils. It's an extremely fine dust that's kind of sort of keeping itself together while it's held in this way. And they just basically gently put a hand over Ponk's mouth. And Ponk, your body naturally breathes in. Your body naturally breathes in the sensation of your body naturally breathes in the seeds that have been crushed with this flower petal, but also you see that there's a little bit of vapors that come from the edge of the flower petals as well, that sort of comes in with them. And Ponk, you can roll me a d4 plus 2. Alright, you will wake up in an hour's time.
Yay.
So that won't be very long for you guys, like by the next place you visit or so, midway through that conversation. But yeah, they basically, you can see Ponk's eyes flickering a little bit, and they just go, and Fowler basically says, let time do the rest. They will wake up, he will wake up sooner, I promise.
Quite
All right. Well, thank you for the help.
Well, it's not for charity. I will be asking for 10 gold pieces, please.
10 gold. You didn't even do anything.
Oh wait, I apologize. I did give you a 5% discount. And basically, I take out the calculator because, alright. If 10% of 10 gold is 1 gold, then, yeah, they're asking for, you'll get 9 gold and 5 silver.
I take it from Ponk's pockets because he's the one that's unconscious, and I pay them with Ponk's money.
You do find that this happens to be all of Ponk's remaining money, and Ponk, you will find this to be the case because of your current guild membership payments you had to do recently.
How many golds do I have left with me at the moment?
Nothing.
Okay.
He has 5 silver though.
Yep. Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
I'm just okay. If that would be all his money, I would leave him 5 gold, and I would pay the 4.5 gold myself. I'm not taking all his money.
All right. Very well. Yeah. Very well. So yeah, you pay that all across, certainly. And yeah, your business is dealt with Fowler. But before you may go on, Fowler will go on to mention that have you noticed much going on in, Cholscore Manor since you've been in there last night?
Yes, the place is most definitely quite haunted. It's really, really quite interesting. You should see it sometime.
Oh, thank you, but no thank you. That's a you problem for sure. And they give you a little smile.
Megara says, yes, it was, I don't believe I cannot imagine how they managed to do it, but the spiders wrote "Last Call, Win Web."
I thought it was closing time.
Maybe they brought some of my animal friendship. Who knows? I don't remember selling to a ghost though, but I do know one thing: ghosts can be calmed when reminded of a life beforehand. I myself was dealt with by a customer who was dealing with a ghost, a family member that they knew, and they always loved being around the smell of lavender and mint. So, I sold the person a 2, and I concocted it into an incense vapor, essentially, as a sort of watery bowl to be heated. And they did say that after having done so, the spirit was reminded of its earthly former life, which did help it pass on peacefully. If you knew more about the one plaguing you, maybe something similar could be arranged.
Or if need be, we can help it pass on violently.
I am not one to ever condone that kind of way of thinking. I always believe that peace is the best course of action, always.
Yes, well, forgive me, but we must agree to disagree on that regard.
That is your choice. So long as you're a paying customer, what you do, I cannot help about.
So, Megara says, she says, well, thank you for your help, but, We've got a bit of a busy day scheduled, and I think I've got to do first.
Yes, I'm quite busy myself, but thank you very much for coming by. I'll be
Yes.
sure to keep an eye out for you when the next holiday comes up.
Thank you for your help.
You're very welcome. Have a nice day.
And walk out, I guess.
Yeah.
So, Magara turns to the others and says, "While we're out, I mean, it's not going to be won't last too long, but we can at least get a start on some cleaning. And I just need 10 minutes to summon an unseen servant."
Okay.
I think unseen servant only works within a certain distance of you.
Yeah.
Hmm.
We'll be sure, but I'm pretty sure this seems very appropriate that it can't leave or be on too far. Mindless, shapeless force that performs simple tasks, springs into existence. Yeah, within range.
Yeah, no,
range.
yeah, more than 60 feet.
Yeah. Oh well, never mind.
Ha. I just kind of like the idea of doing the ritual to have it start cleaning. But oh well.
There may be a way that this could work out, depending on how things go. Anyway,
Yeah.
your business at Corellian's Crown is dealt with for the time being. You have many neighbors you can go and see, unless you want to deal with other business right now.
When was we should go to the, or someone should go to the?
There's no real
Theater?
time frame. It's just better to do this today. If you wanted, you could leave this for as much as half a 10-day or 5 days. It is a matter that as soon as you're called upon, you get it out of the way before you find yourself dealing with other more demanding issues, you know?
Right.
I am going to bust out my parasol and just start walking to the Watchful Order because my character knows himself and he'll know he'll forget if he doesn't do it today.
Certainly, absolutely. And you don't visit any of the other neighbors of yours, right?
Not immediately.
All right. No, fair enough. Fair enough. How about everybody else? Do you all follow after Adrian?
Yeah, Magara does.
And Punk. Of course.
Yeah, I assume that Pong would probably wake up soon.
Yeah, just after you leave Troll Skull Alley over in the North Ward of Waterdeep, you guys begin to make your way into town, and today is pretty bustling. There is certainly lots that is happening, and there's an energy. Now that you leave the more residential area of Waterdeep, you're now coming closer and closer towards the market and some of the more active streets that are bustling with activity right now. I'm making a note of this Holy Hands house because I think it's one of them that I want to keep track of. Let's see.
And on the way, we spot a priest peddling super holy water.
Ha! Yes, you are. Now, Fred, do you want to roleplay this moment, or shall I take care of it for you?
His mic's cutting out.
Well done, that's
Uh,
excellent. I'm going to control his character for him until he can sort it out. So,
There we go.
alright,
I'm-
Fred, take away your character.
Alright. Sorry. Sorry, 1 second. I was looking some. Alright. Have you ever lost your keys when you've just had them? Hear things go bump in the night? It may not be your head. It could be your loved ones or enemies that are haunting you from the afterlife. It's true! But with my super holy water, trademarked, you can send these ghosts to the afterlife up to 85%, a whole 35% more than normal old holy water, as everyone knows. But wait, if you hire me for an extra charge of 10 GP with purchase of a bottle of super water, I can professionally exercise these ghastly beings for up to 95%.
Well, there you have it.
How if you don't mind me asking, how do you exercise 95% of a ghost?
Well, you see, spirits, they're like carbon dioxide. They inhabit a gaseous state, and even if you can't see it anymore, they're still around, and it's making it really hard to completely destroy them.
Carbon
But if
What?
it's like a type of gaseous ectoplasm. But if it comes back, I will give you my full course for 20% off.
It's like how Lysol eliminates 99.9% of germs. Just notice a bit. Can I roll insight on this?
Since when
Certainly.
was a
I am
was
negative.
a wisdom?
Yep. I
Eleven.
believe everything he is saying.
Of course. He's legit.
Of course. He's most definitely legit.
And
Definitely
they-
sounds like a deal.
Yeah.
He is so legitimate, I am going to hire him with 10 GP to
Excellent.
assist us.
You first buy a bottle of his holy water and you get his services added onto it, is what you meant to say.
Yes.
Super holy water.
Super
So-
cool.
Trademark.
Since when was a wisdom-based class so intelligent?
Yeah, what is it?
Nothing.
He-
That's out of character.
Right.
You, sir, are you looking to deal with ghosts, or have you having issues with the ladies?
We are dealing with ghosts.
It is quite potential for both of those things to be true, but I more so am having issues with the ghost.
Oh,
I
they could
don't
be
think-
quite
I don't-
related if you ask me.
I don't think there's issues. I just think he's misunderstood.
Yes,
Well-
and I think I don't enjoy spiders talking to me in the middle of the night with their webs, so forgive me,
Well-
but I prefer not having a ghost.
We can
That's
market that.
You may buy a bottle of super holy water and my services, and I will give you a discount. It will be for 35 GP.
Earlier you had said 10 GP.
The 10 dragons are for my services, but for my services, you must also buy the bottle of super holy water because I will end up using it during the exercising.
Forgive me, but I cannot pay for that which I do not have the money for.
Well, I am looking for a place to stay. If you have somewhere I can live with, I have been traveling from monastery to monastery and would like a proper bed instead of sleeping in the pew.
You are quite welcome, however, and I just kind of gesture a bit. If you can't tell by us being here, it is quite haunted. But if you're able to resolve the issue, you're more than welcome to spend the night or two.
The Lord Helm shall always protect those who under his visage. I shall take your offer, and 5 GP as for the price of the super holy water with a 50% discount.
Alright, I hand over the 5 GP then.
Excellent. Yes, sir. Perfect. You make sure to pay. Well, why don't you declare your name, Mister Priestly Man?
By the way, my name is Farlison Denmore, priest of Helm.
Priest of Helm.
Yeah.
Right.
What's your name? Since you all will be hiring me.
Yes. I myself here am Adrian Fairbrand, one of the owners of the establishment you'll be visiting. The Punk's conscious now, right?
Yeah. Punk has just kind of come conscious when somehow Mr. Farlson, give me an insight check.
Oh, I accidentally jammed it, but yeah.
That's okay. That's okay.
Good.
Punk, or shit, I don't know his name. Your kobold friend. I shall have the gods tell him to rise. Wake up!
Blackstaff.
Yeah. Punk just wakes up in a sudden gasp. Don't know why my
I
screen
just
didn't
kind of
tell me.
tilt my head at him, like, what is he saying?
I believe he said
It-
Blackstaff.
Is that the nightmare you had?
There is this like a voice. It told me about to meet this like take everyone to meet this black stuff guy. I was you know that I was very 80s when I was in that place. It full of many bad things, and that one just simply break me apart.
As,
I'm sorry.
as a Waterdeep resident, would I know about the Blackstaff?
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. The Black Staff is a serious, high-ranking. Well, they lead the Force Grey team, and they also are the one that heads up the Watchful Order of Mages and Protectors. So the Black Staff is one not to be underestimated, for sure. And they reside within the floating palm of the God's Catcher Colossus.
So, since we were going to the Watchful Order anyway, would that be the same location?
No, certainly not.
Okay.
However, you could deal with maybe some recognition through her. I mean, if she says you're signed and cleared, you're signed and fucking cleared. You
Yeah.
know.
Right. Plans are off. If the Blackstaff needs us, we're going there. Come along. And I'm kind of just like in a panic, rushing everyone to head
Excuse
that
me.
direction as soon as I hear this from Pong.
I do require payment for waking your friend from his eternal slumber. It's nothing big, just 5 silver.
Megara at this point, she gets like a twitch in the eye, and she just like turns around to Falson and says, "It is about time he was going to wake up anyway. We've already paid for this."
Whoever you paid has an absolute quag. He was going to be asleep for the longest time, but the Lord Helm told me to wake them up.
Yeah, you ain't getting nothing.
Okay, then he shall go back to sleep later tonight.
Yeah.
I
Wonderful.
cast sleep on Pong.
Really?
I am being completely serious right now. I want to try. I want to try and because Magara's looking the other way from me,
Yeah.
so she wouldn't see this. I cast sleep on Pong just to mess with her.
Who's this speaking?
Adrian.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Roll sleep.
He's full health, so I don't think it'll work. But
Oh
no, that's
it
30.
works,
He has
because they're level 2. You put
How?
them to sleep twice over. Ponk, how long does the sleep spell say they say asleep for? An hour?
Oh no, just a minute.
Oh.
It's like no time at all.
Ponk, roll me a con saving throw with disadvantage, please.
All right.
I wouldn't do it if it were an hour. It's literally just a minute.
Excellent. Disadvantage, roll me a d2 plus 1.
Oh god.
You are asleep for 2 hours.
Oh goddamn! Not again.
I will wake him from his second eternal slumber with 5 GP, but not right now. I'm tired.
You can see like Pong tongue. It's like rolling out, and he just like.
Okay. Megara's definitely sensing shenanigans here. Like, could I roll Arcana to tell that he casts sleep?
No, you cannot.
I didn't cast anything.
No, you cannot. No, you cannot. But since Adrian, you've in this VC told everyone that this is what you're up to, you can GM me you can private roll me a performance check, please. No, a stealth check to cast this. Yeah, stealth to hide. A sleight of hand to hide it. A sleight of hand to hide the wiggling of your fingers. That's what I need. As a GM'd roll thing. Now, while we're at it, oh, very nice. Yeah. Okay. Now, Miss Magara, you may give me a perception check, please.
Oh god. Oh.
A DC has been decided. He's not messing with you in the slightest. His skills were not used to affect Ponk. The spell clearly was a botched job by, well, what was it? Farson said he'd go back to sleep, and that's exactly what's happened. He is completely and full-heartedly accurate to his word.
I mean, that's not an insight roll, so
It's
Well,
not
it's
an insight
perception
roll, but
see
the
a spell
evidence
being
points
cast.
to the following. That he said that Ponk would go back to sleep. Ponk is back to sleep. Evidence is there.
yeah, no, she's just like, oh, it's just likely he just only woke up for a bit anyway. It's still, you get that at times when you wake up in the morning.
Well,
Yes,
we've
well,
got.
A kobold
I
always
know how
need a
tired
lot of
I am.
energies.
Napping on a dragonborn shoulder.
Yeah, at this point they're drooling. I think that's fair because their body has been put through such sleepy states.
Have to clean my armor after this.
Certainly. So, yeah, which way do you guys go next?
Oh, definitely to the black staff after Ponk mentioned it upon waking up.
Certainly, yes. So, yeah. Oh, hang on. So, while it is known that Vadra calls her home at the God Catcher, her actual place of business is the Blackstaff Tower itself, which I can show on the map is right here next to the Font of Knowledge and not too far away from the Castle Ward, certainly all following near the Mount Waterdeep kind of ridge area. Very close to the Halls of Justice and other notable locations that might interest people once they figure out what they actually are. But here it is a wizard training academy for certain. And Vadra uses this place as her base of operations. Okay. So, when you guys come forward to Blackstaff, you see nobody outside the front. But you can see across the brickwork, each and every cobblestone, in a sort of 60-foot radius around Blackstaff Tower, has a small arcane glyph engraved on every cobblestone. Who is proficient with Arcana?
I
Not me.
think I am. I am.
I thought I was, but I didn't take it.
If you're not
Turns out.
proficient, you cannot give a check. Alright, Adrian.
Didn't need to.
Yeah, Adrian. You go through these one by one. They're all kind of very intricate glyphs. Very intricate. And each one essentially is all a condition. So the first one says, if anyone should try to enter this building with thoughts of stealing from it, they will explode. That's on one cobblestone. Another cobblestone, millimeters away, is engraved with, if anyone would think to assault or to sexually abuse a member of Blackstaff, their organs will be turned inside out. Another cobblestone, a couple of millimeters away from that one, says if there should be an earthquake, this immediate vicinity will not be affected. And it goes on, and you are amazed that these nasty sounding or otherwise impressively powerful spells are one by one detailed on a single cobblestone each. And they all converge around this tower.
I know enough, being a Waterdeep resident, to believe that the Blackstaff could truly do these things.
Yes, you do. These were
Because
likely
they're
carved by
basically,
them.
whether or not they actually could, they're they're a water-deep legend, so I'd choose to believe it, essentially.
Definitely.
Quite right. If you could all do me a favor and not just be right bastards while we go in here, it will preserve your organs and your life.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like a nice fellow.
There's some.
Sounds like a fellow with preparations.
Yeah, there's a more gentle one that involves if anybody should swear towards a member while you're not, your tongue will feel as heavy as 2 tons. So watch what you say while you're at it.
Well, come along then. Farlson, I don't believe you're involved with this. You can come with us if you would like, and I just read out some of the same things you had to the group.
I'll try to sell some more wares so that I can gain charity for the children. You all pick me back up so we can head on the way to your haunted manor.
Oh, okay. So you're not going to join them in, Farlson.
Yes.
Okay, very good, very good.
I mean, he would probably have his organs explode, honestly.
I am a very honest priest. All I wish to do is gain gold for my charities.
Very nice, very nice. You may consider joining Razuf. He was on his way to some temples of Tyr and Helm.
I shall work my way with him.
Ah, very nice. Alright, so...
Before they head off, I'm like, excuse me, where should we meet up afterwards? Back at the manor.
Yeah, Troll Skull Valley. Alley.
And from there we can go to the opera. Quite right.
Definitely.
It's a date. It's a date.
Yay! Fun times.
I shall inform them.
Corin, you aren't there yet. Neither are you going to be introduced yet, but I can say you will be attending this opera as well.
Alrighty.
Not because you were given a similar invitation, but just because you fancied some entertainment.
Alrighty.
And I don't mind telling you that you know what the program is about. It's about the fall and rise of Tiamat sung in Giant. So it's going to have some something like that, but in Giant tongue. So lots of heavy, growly kind of consonants. Definitely for like a fat, rotund male opera singer to be going through, certainly. And there is even note that there will be a hidden special guest.
Lit.
That's something a noble dragonborn would certainly say.
Yes,
Denethor
she's cool with
is
the
gonna-
teenagers.
Even the teenagers don't do lit.
Knows what's.
Of course she's cool,
I'm-
she's
I'm
a
sorry,
silver dragon.
Which group did Ponk go with, actually?
I think they're going with Razov because they're passed out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if
True.
someone else wants to carry him, go ahead.
Oh, Ponk is the one that reached out to.
Yeah.
This is true.
He may need to be
it's-
carried
it's-
in.
Knowing that, yeah, I would take him, and we would transfer the unconscious Ponk to us. Knowing that.
Yeah, seems like an idea.
Anyone want to use the action to wake me up?
It's not about using an action, it's about if you succeed in getting anywhere doing it.
That hasn't gone too well lately. I just give Punk to Adrian, I guess.
Very good.
He shouldn't be too heavy, so.
Now,
And
at this point, you guys assemble your droopy, floppy kobold, and maybe Vardra will be able to sort him out. And you guys make your way in. You are not met with any kind of security checks. You are not met with any but watchful order people who try to stop you on your way. You are welcomed in, and as you come by, there are several fancifully water-deep colours sort of flow through these magicians and wizards alike as you're looking through this training academy. So the place is well kitted with like leathery jackets, small ones with blue, like deep royal blues and very gentle brassy kind of gold trims that come along in most of their garb. And you're led higher and higher through this tower until you get to a large set of black double doors that have stars embossed across the outside of their doorway and down along the middle. You see no door handles. You see no keyholes. And the painting is the only way you can see that there is any kind of doorway feature to it. Aside from that, you do see some massive glyphs, heavy glyphs. One at the left side says that, or rather, oh, what am I doing? Adrian, give me another Arcana check.
That rolled twice for some reason.
That's cool.
Just go with the first.
Yeah, well, we'll get both because I would have asked for 2 anyway. The first one says something Vajra Safahir, and the second one says enter knowing I control your fate.
I am going to politely knock on the door.
As you do so, you find that the door is intangible and lacking all substance. It is in fact an illusion, or would physically react as if it's one. And inside, when you do peer through, you will see very not innate. It's not ornate, but it is absolutely stacked with a variety of books. Books that have piled up and books that are floating to create more room and more accessibility to one another. There is bookshelves that go either side of this place, but even they are placated as an overflowing with themselves, as the air itself is a perfectly suitable bookshelf. And inside you see Vajra Saphir herself, and you should have a handout for her now. I can't enlarge her my end, but you should be able to see her in your handouts, right?
Yep.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
She's sitting there, and she's a mid-30s, but you all know that she is the youngest to ever hold the position of Blackstaff in the history of Waterdeep, and she is the chief crowning magician and wizard that has ever been or will be in Waterdeep to date at the moment. So, when she comes in, she basically doesn't give you a smile, but she gives you a respectful nod. And she asks you basically to come forward a bit, and she looks over to the little kobold as they go, Did you lack any sleep at the moment?
He's had quite the day of being knocked out.
I'm afraid that when he heard your message, he's not too familiar with the arcane arts. He somewhat panically tried to run away and knocked his head on a table.
Also, I may have overly engrossed her power, but at the same time, she's in a position I want to heighten it just a little bit. There may be other high-ranking magicians hiding in Waterdeep, but she is the top-ranking you quickly can think to mind, just so I mention. So, from where I am from here, she then follows on to basically say that, she basically goes, your little kobold friend did interest me. I am in contact with one of our other members, a well-known, respectable man. He is a monk, which is why your kobold friend interested me. Hlam has difficulties adjusting with those that we try to introduce to him. He's a well-meaning monk, and he most definitely always begins saying that he's willing to take on recruits, but he also has a very short amount of patience. He is old, but he is exceptional, and he is a well-deserved protector of Waterdeep. I'm trying to find somebody who can get the torch gently from him. He's well-meaning, but he is incapable at the moment to bring his teachings on to somebody else. I'm trying to find some sort of assistant to him. This will be difficult, but maybe your friend might. I would love to talk to him, but he seems to be asleep. Oh, Oh, he's under the effects of a sleep spell. Well, I don't know how
I
that...
knew it!
I don't
Adrian looks away. Knows I know nothing.
Well, I don't know what caused this, but let's remove it. She snaps her fingers and Ponk, you're awake. Vardra looks a little bit shocked for a moment as they just go, whoa. No, I wasn't expecting that noise.
What is? Ooh, my brains. Wow.
She snaps her fingers
He had
again,
me.
and she basically utters an incantation. And Ponk, you feel energetic. You feel bright, bushy-eyed, and ready for the day. All of a sudden, it hits you, and she just basically goes, I want to deal with this quickly, and we need you at your best form. How are you feeling, Mr. Punk?
I think you just cured my depression.
Well, I didn't realize I had that skill. I'll add it to one of the books. Well, anyway, I had a mission for you. This may well lead to a position in Force Grey as an initiate, if things go well. Would you be interested?
Go on.
There's a monk over in Mount Waterdeep called Halam. He lives in a cave on the side of Mount Waterdeep. Ask him about what he's heard about threats to the city, but try not to annoy him or overstay your welcome. Except, Mr. Punk, I want you to try and overstay your welcome on several occasions. I want you to try and befriend Hlam, and I want you to try and get him to teach you his ways. This will be difficult, but if you can achieve this, you could become as powerful as he. I don't know what kind of order of martial artists you come from, nor what brought you from away from your kobold den, but if you should find a way to befriend him and learn from him, Alam has a great, unique skill set. He somehow channels the divine through his fists. It's something I've never seen before, and in case anything should happen to him, there should be somebody else you may be able to learn after a few teachings. I've tried others before and they failed, but perhaps a small, unappealing-ish, unstriking kobold might be able to change his perception, whatnot. Get him to think differently, act differently. It's a matter of trial and error, and I'm hoping you may be the success I need.
I heard about him, but most people usually try to stay away from him. But I do want to learn a few skills from a greater monk. I'm trying. Sure. You said that he lived in a cave, yes?
Yes, against Mount Waterdeep.
Did anyone? Do you know anything about his favorite and least favorite things, at least?
Wow, there's honestly no. He is a venerable human monk who lives in the half back in Mount Waterdeep. He seems to be the Grand Master of the Order of the Even-Handed. It's a small monastic group devoted to Tyr. He is the only one that seems to know that much about it. Even those who worship Tyr don't know much about it, and Razuf, we're on topic for you. You've never heard of this order before, the Order of the Even-Handed.
All right.
Yeah, even even this punk would scratch his head. He's like, "Whoa, this is new to me. How long I have like he been here in Waterdeep, and this is very new in terms of information."
Clam has had many students that do try to learn his ways. It's some kind of mixture between cleric divinity and monk-like capabilities, and this is an amalgamation of the two. However, many have failed and have been left uninterested in continuing their studies with him and their practices. He has simply just worn them down to bruised bloody pulps. If you have the determination you think it takes to get through to him, perhaps you could be the next Grand Master of the Order.
Jeez. I would like to try, but I can't tell you it's going to be a sure kill promise, but I will try.
That's what I ask. That's more or less good enough. In return for this, we'll see about any kind of lasting membership to Force Grey as an initiate. For the future, of course, if that interests you.
What is the benefit for joining the Force Grey, if you don't mind me to indulge on?
Well, I already know that you mean well. I've heard about what you've done for Renia and what you did down in the sewers with your friends. I'm sorry to hear about the Goliath that went down there. But
Oh,
we can offer a variety of help when the situation arises. One including... I don't want to encourage this too much, but when certain action is needed to be taken and it involves questionable legality, it's possible that we can arrange for those laws to be skirted with special permission being a member of Force Grey. We have certain privileges that allow us to take action first when required, especially when it comes to matters of law. And my influence can extend to you in these situations. Should that interest you, that's the main benefit. Aside from some very good friends and some well-renowned heroes who you could join the ranks of.
you have me interested, but I assume that there would be some guild membership and also a few paying fee to get in.
No, of course not. We're not a guild of merchant and commerce. No, we are a specific unit that goes beyond just the sheer security of Waterdeep, but its everlasting presence in the Sword Coast. We guard it against special threats that we deem to be worth special and immediate action. Which, goes beyond its regular lawbreakers, but goes towards the monstrous and the deeply arcane.
Well, to be honest, you have me interested. It's just that I'm not sure if I can be any of use. I have been brewing for my entire life, but if you're willing to take me, Cobalt, into your organization, I'm willing to do as best as I can.
You're very humble. It's a very becoming feature. I hope that you may suit our ranks. We would definitely be glad to have you. But see how you get on with Clam. I would encourage you that you do your utmost to try and convince him to take you under his wing as a protege. This will be very difficult, but if you can achieve it, great power and divine inclinations. Speaking of, are you particularly a religious kobold?
Out of character, he's lawful neutrals.
That doesn't matter in terms of if you're religious or if you care about religion. The gods do exist, but yeah.
Cobalt. This Cobalt, it does not have any religions yet, so I would say agnostic. Like he haven't chosen the actual religion to follow, at least.
Yeah, because I think agnostic is. What is agnostic? I'm sorry.
You're not quite an atheist, but you if some sort of miracle happens, then you believe in God.
You're open to the idea of God, but you don't actually
You
believe
don't
in
particularly
it.
worship a god.
Yeah.
Although in the D&D universe, if you're an atheist or an agnostic, you're just kind of
You will get screwed over, but essentially, what you need to understand is gods are real. They are
Yeah.
a thing. They exist. And your only state at the moment is you don't know which one you want to really throw your end in, or you're happy with limbo and turmoil.
I think that's what he had meant, is that he didn't throw his hat in the ring for any particular god.
Yeah, you're still window shopping, and that's fine. That's fine. It's better to window shop for longer than it is to put your allegiance to one god and shift to another. They don't like that.
Yes, I heard about that too.
It might be too.
And-
Might be too.
True. And pardon me, madam. My name is Adrian Fairbrand, and this here, and I gestured towards Magara, is Magara, and I kind of wait for her to say a last name because I haven't heard it.
She takes a moment to think about this and says, "Is a last name important? Or is a family name
It's-
important?"
Vajra
That's up to-
basically goes, in Waterdeep, yes it does. Vajra basically goes, if you're only willing to give it up, then we needn't go about it. I didn't quite ask, neither is it the front of my attention. But
And-
either way, if you can help your kobold friend here become Ham's protege, we can certainly talk about Force Grey positions for those that are interested as initiates. But we'll see. We'll see. You're all welcome, though, as friends of his, of course. That being
Yes.
said, if there's no other business, then I certainly
Well-
have some I can be attending to, and I'm sure you're busy as well.
That
Forgive me.
is what our friend Adrian was just about to ask.
Yes, forgive me. Just a short bit of business. I myself am a sorcerer. I've quite recently awoken to my powers, and Magra here herself is as well a practitioner of the arcane arts.
Yes.
We were just wondering about registering with the Watchful Order and
Yeah.
participating in their
What was your
endeavor.
name again, Adrian? She asked.
Adrian Fairbrand, madam.
Yes, the Fairbrands. I did cover your family once over before, and I make no hesitation to mention that I am worried about where your power does come from. We have decided that it is coming from the Shadowfell in one form or another. That being said, it appears to be benign, and it doesn't seem to overtake you in any way. I am sorry for the toll it is taking to your family, but I can assure you that while breath does breathe through you, you will be a great help. Also, if you can help do these favors with us, and you come closer to our ranks, maybe we can be in a position to talk about how we can get you into more long-term fixes for this curse that does seem to follow your family. I couldn't begin to help you with that now. This is a family matter. This is something you have to uncover for yourself. But when you get to a certain amount of power, and you've mastered and honed your skills enough, perhaps working closer with me, we can discern something for your future.
At the mention of, the curse afflicting his family, he kind of freezes up a bit. Thank you.
Yeah. With that, she also goes, while I'm at it, her eyes look off in the distance for about 25 seconds, and she looks back to you, and she just goes, "You're all registered. I've got a guy to scribe it all down for you."
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Where can we find you? Trollskull Manor, right?
As of now, yes, although I may be back home on occasion.
Fair enough. Anyway, if we have no more business, I'll leave you be. Have a pleasant evening.
So wait, are we both registered?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's done the sending
Okay.
spell to some subordinate
Yeah.
who's scribed it all down for you.
Okay.
Anyway,
I bow
Yeah.
and leave.
certainly. Yep, and the rest of you basically take your leave of Blackstaff Tower as you make your way out into the bustling city of Waterdeep yet again. Now, Ponk, Excuse me. Well, you feel the same way actually between all your yawning. So when you
Yes.
look at Mount Waterdeep, and you can see that you got to kind of go halfway up this thing to get to this cave. It really doesn't appeal to you straight off the bat, perhaps, especially after you've been asleep for so long.
Now I'm trying to look for the cave in the map. Just give me a moment.
Mm-hmm.
You said it was somewhere.
It's not really on the map. It's just in a general direction, but high up on Mount Waterdeep itself.
Ah.
Anyway, so yeah, that's something that is going to be over your head to do if you decide to follow that up. As for everybody else, what business do you want to tend to next? You have a ghost, you have an opera, you have neighbors, and you've got a priest you've hired who has a job to do. You may want to do that before your opera.
I think he is back with our dragonborn friend Razeth.
That's
actually,
right. That's right.
on the way back to Trollskull Manor, I'd like to pop by my home with Ponk and see if I do have some formal attire from when I was a kid that would fit him.
Well, firstly, we have to deal with Razov's kind of mention.
Mhm.
I want to find out where this is. Ah, well. Here we go. Helm's Hall sounds like it would be a pretty good bet. Oh, you know what I need? You know what? You guys don't know where you're heading. So,
Nope.
like the DM, he opens up his Volos Waterdeep Enchiridion to basically figure out where you guys need to get off to. The walking statues, this is the Hagen Humbled, and that's all that business. I'll keep that open. Boop. But no, basically you guys continue and you look through, again, the wonders of Waterdeep to figure out where you need to be. Health thy mirror crack, I think. I don't know what on earth that is. Oh, here we go. Yes, we found your gods, yes. Again, found in Volos, Enchiridion. Just so I tell you and hit you where you can look for. So, for those that, there's Tyr, Halls of Justice, Castle Wards. So Razeth and Mr. Priest, Farlson, over in the Castle Ward, right at the Halls of Justice. Where are they? Would someone like to find the Halls of Justice for me? Here we go. Boom.
Actually, right by Blackstaff Tower.
Yeah, so you guys didn't fall off that far away from each other. But yeah. You guys basically make your way over there, and yeah, this is where. So the Halls of Justice is, of course, a major temple of Waterdeep, and it is pretty damn large. If I use the ruler tool and go from edge to edge, it's about a 0.1 mile at its largest, so it's quite an exhibition kind of hall, I think it's fair to say. And these do come with immense, huge marble columns that rise out from the ground into these large curling archways, while it also has these pristine mirrors of like stained glass mirrors that do hang there. Certainly. Let's see. Come on. Yeah. There we go. This will work. Yeah, so they have these like pictures that include this heavy armored visage of what could only be described as Tyr himself. While sunlight in this kind of autumny period is like golden from the outside and coming through in many beaming rays of colorful light that transcend through this large, immense building. And you can see a variety of priests who clutter the cloisters and the walkways off to the sides and the inner workings of this large temple, while there are many people of, a few of the city watch, others of paladins of various walks of life, who have all dedicated themselves to the service of justice and honor, and including some you wouldn't think look like the heavy-hitting sort. You even see a couple of quiet nobles with thin visages and small, frail bodies who sit there praying to their god with eyes that appear hopeful that justice and honor and nobility continue to reign, while somebody clangs their fork on a plate and interrupts the serenity of this place. Anyway, Farson, you are a worshipper of Helm, right? Or is
Correct.
it Tyr? Yeah. So this place is actually not quite for you. Tyr is a prime key example, especially for those in the Lords of Lions who particularly care about this sort of stuff. So for you, you need Helm's Hall. You need Helm's Hall, which can be found in the southern ward, all the way down near the opposite end, all the way over here, if it so interests you. But you join Razaf for this portion, and Razaf, you come forward, and before you, you can see that there are many different City Watch members, and there are certainly a few individual sorts who... there's some nobles that have come out in their plated armor, and you can tell that they've barely used theirs, as they are unscratched, unscathed. There's a few would-be younger sorts, like 18-year-olds who are in this sort of armor, flanked by a few noble attendants who wait with them in this line, as each one comes forward and scribes their name to a clergyman who is taking note of all these individuals. You even see one who was kind of asked to produce a light cantrip before the clergyman, and give me an insight check.
All right. Sure.
Yeah, he seems very nervous. He seems as though he's about to get caught out, and he seems as though he is going to be unable to cast this spell. And all of a sudden, poof, a little ball of floating golden light comes before him and the clergyman raises his hand in a sort of flat palm-like feature, and he says simply and with practiced monotony that Tyr has blessed you with divine justice. Spread your light across the realms and ensure the security and stability of life itself. Go forth in peace and spread Tyr's justice to all. And he basically gently ushers you forward as he basically goes, in the light of Tyr, all races are accepted, where those that concern themselves with the justice of the realm is concerned, and of all its inhabitants. Please speak your name, brother.
Rasif.
Very good, Mr. Rasif. May I ask, who is the god of justice, who serves his people and brings order to the realm through his divine right and his wrath?
Tyr, the maimed god.
He nods with satisfaction, and as a side note, he goes, Mr. Razov, or rather, Brother Razov, it is common that those that seek the paladin way of life shall state their oaths to one of us. Please, kneel down before me, and state before Tyr himself your oaths that you pledged to perform. Remember that these oaths should never be broken, and that the longer you keep them, the more in Tyr's blessing you shall find yourself, a devout and righteous paladin of justice. Please state your oaths to all to hear. Now, do you have an oath in mind for the future?
The oath of conquests is my way.
Interesting. So, there are the oaths that are stated there, but I want you to justice reflavor them, but don't be too off key if you can. And you only have to list 3 for me, but you can just reflavor them a touch.
Is there an oath I should say, or?
Well, the Oath of Conquest literally states 3 oaths when you see it in Xanathar's Guide to anything.
Isn't tenets?
Yes, the tenets, essentially, yes. The tenets are the sacred oaths that you take. Or rather, maybe I'm actually wrong. Maybe you can do this a bit differently. So the Oath of Devotion is literally the oath. But why don't you state your tenets then? State your tenets.
Right.
In
My tenets is...
in a conquering flavor.
My tenets is the strength above all. I shall rule until the strong one rises. Then I must grow mightier and meet the mightier challenger.
I remember.
Or fall to my own ruin.
Before you give this, I would like to remind you you're in a place of law by Tyr.
Right.
So, very well, that's your first tenet. State your second.
Douse the flame of hope. I must not merely defeat an enemy in battle, but my victory must be so overwhelming that my enemies will be shattered forever. A blade can end a life, fear can end an empire.
Alright, give me your third, and I highly recommend you take the advice I gave, which was to reflavor one of these tenets, as this priest has a very, very worried look on his face now, and there is certainly a crowd that are looking at you, a bit disturbed.
I don't know where you're getting at.
You've not said the word justice once in the grand temple of Tyr. You've instead pledged to conquer, destroy, and waylaid to your enemies.
So I think you mean something more like saying, douse the flame of hope so that all may remain is the justice of Tyr or something like that.
Yes, or even one might say, when evil rears its head, I shall not stop to just see it defeated. I shall make an end to all evil that dare bring its head to the land of goodness and righteousness. Reflavoring towards the good aligned way of thinking in the temple of Tyr. In the grand holy temple of Tyr. A chair creaks.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know this. I don't know spell this stuff.
What?
I don't know this paladin stuff.
You're a paladin, man.
Yeah, but I was a ranger.
Yeah, okay. Let's just back up. Would you like?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. I mean, Mr. Falson, maybe you have some tips and tricks for a man who potentially doesn't quite know his feelings upon what he's acting like, perhaps.
Alright.
Oh,
in the
my
brightest
goodness.
day,
Yeah.
in the bright blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power by Tyr's light.
The last tenant sells the guy as he just basically kind of goes, you'll be amazed. I've never heard those sets before, you had me very, very worried, Brother Razif. Though it is right to bring relentless and swift justice to all those that will break the law, make sure you do so knowing that your adversaries deserve it. Do not dish out hatred in the course of justice. Dish out a blind, pure, and honorable, unbiased opinion in your judgment upon others.
Of
Take
course,
this
brother.
teaching into your life, and you shall embody Tyr closer each day. Please rise. And, the crowd basically gave a sigh of relief as they were worried this may all just about go down in a couple of seconds, as maybe guards have to spike, a warlord in the making to besiege towns, and,
As Reza stands when he's told to rise, I'd like to brighten all the candles in the room.
This place is so big that there isn't even candles within 30 feet of you in any
Ooh.
direction.
Is there a door that can fly open?
Even further, this is a huge ass, like, Notre Dame sort of pristine cathedral-like grand temple. This is a place that reveres gods that exist, and in Waterdeep, this is not understated with a small, shabby, little hut that has a plaque of their god. No, this is a grand, immense, towering beacon of justice for the world to be around. And your Farmataji, unfortunately, goes a bit too far off the side. It's just too
Okay.
far away.
I just say I'll let my actions speak for. I'll let my actions speak for themselves, not my words.
The clergy nods. He gives you a blessing, and he then ushers you to leave, so the next may come to take his vow. Anyway, you're all signed up.
I shamefully leave.
Yeah,
Or-
yeah, you do. You feel
Yeah.
judged by Tyr, who has felt your heart, and how you are a very wavy-ass paladin who, you feel the justice that hangs over you. The clergy can be fooled, but a god certainly knows your heart.
I will make up for this transgression.
I guess you're still new to this paladin stuff there, Reza.
Yeah.
That's fair enough. Right then. So, yeah. You head out, and, Mr. Falson, how do you want to conduct your business?
Was there a shrine to
Helm?
Helm?
Yes, all the way down here at Helm's Hall.
Then I'd like to visit.
Certainly. Yeah. So, Helm's Hall is not as gigantic. The Halls of Justice was a gigantic place. But it is no less shabby. It is a more respectable, sort of like Greek temple sort of line out, with columns that support the outside, and within you can see a much more laid-back kind of setting. This is not to say this place is unholy. It is still radiant. It is still pristine. It is shown the Gauntlet of Helm, which is a blue gauntlet with an eye in the middle that you can see. And you can see a variety of clerics that do usher back and forth to this hall. And this is more like of the size of a very, very grand feast hall. But maybe that's not quite as right. I would say even bigger than that, with a secondary tier. It is as wide and long as a grand feast hall, but it is stacked, it is a 2-story sort of hall and cathedral to Helm. Inside, you can see that in the corner there is a wizened dwarf with a constant sort of smiling face that is shown through his up-curled beard and mustache, as his eyes seem to be squinted so close together, it appears as though he is got his eyes closed. But in this corner, he basically has got a variety of letters. And you recognize this as the alphabet. And beside that, he has the Dwarvish alphabet, of which he has on a chalkboard. And in this corner, he is essentially teaching a class to a couple of just a couple of scrubby, grimy-ish sort of children. In fact, because you are so close to the dock ward and you're right at the southern ward, that this does make sense. You're seeing some dirtier children who are somewhat more grimy. Some of them look a bit hungrier, sure, and they definitely come here, and a few of them aren't paying over attention. They don't all have little notepads and quills and whatnot. They are, however, watching this dwarf instruct them what each translates to, and basically you're seeing a class that's going on over the side. Even a tiefling child, boy, about 8 years old, followed by another human and another human, all around similar ages, are kind of sitting at the back of this class, kind of nudging each other and whispering to one another, to which the dwarf doesn't seem to be particularly perturbed by. He keeps his focus on the class. That being said, you come forth, and yeah, you can go ahead and register your powers.
I was just hoping to bless my gauntlet of Tyr in your chapel, so that I may better serve the god of protection. I said Tyr, I meant Helm.
Yeah. Nice. So, instead of, while that dwarf is over there in the corner, you approach another lady. You approach a lady. This one is a very tired-looking, wrinkled, but still got some meat on her bones, kind of Teferian human. And she basically greets you forward, and despite her visage, she does say pleasantly, yes, thank you for coming by. Since all that have their powers finally found and gifted by the gods, it is only right that we take your name, and we make a note of yours. Would you please kindly state it, and could you please state who you serve?
My name is Farluson Dinmore. I serve the god of protection, Helm.
She nods, and she makes a little mark of it in the book. She basically just goes, welcome, Bubba Falson. It's wonderful to have you join us. Do you, by any chance, have any preference or understanding when it comes to teaching at all?
Well, I'm not much of a teacher. I perform exorcisms as well as protect those and gain charity to help better protect those that are in need.
Oh, well, that is definitely very generous and wonderful work. I only ask because, Mr. Firebeard over here, we call him that around here, he is struggling to manage most of the children between the dock ward, and certainly the children around Slop Street are certainly quite disreputable. We certainly are looking for more hands who can teach. Even if you can't, certainly finding others who could, we'd really appreciate it.
Well, I do believe it's the greatest important to teach those while they're young, so that they may better protect those in the future. What would you want me to teach if I were to take this offer?
Oh, well, these are children from the slums. All they have is finding whatever way adults nearby need their help. For example, these four, and she points to a variety of, I would call their lips very chapped. They are well fed, or rather they appear well fed, but their lips are quite chapped, and their hands, their palms, look very raw and red and dried, as he basically goes, well, these children have places to rest for the evenings. These are usually out at some of the ships that are docked, as they are ship hands that watch and retie over the lashings to a ship. Children like this are just a habit of the city when they are disowned or kept in poorer families. Whatever work can be suited for them, they just get started in. And it's up to us to just, She yawns as she herself is quite tired, and she goes, oh, I'm so sorry, pardon me. But essentially they're put to any work that, really they are suitable for. And it's not as if we ask that they don't work. It's very good that they do, and they are given some allowance to help with their homes and families. But we certainly want it to be that at least all Waterhavian children have the opportunity for higher things in the future. And this is just one of the main ways we can do that. It needn't be as inadvert as dwarvish script, but day-to-day living and a general outlook to the wider world. Some of these children won't know a life beyond Waterdeep, and it's good to know that there is more going on in the wider world.
Well, I do believe idle hands lead to the setter's pie. I shall teach them, but I believe for the more worker type that it's better to have a less classroom setting and take them around the safer places of Waterdeep to show them what they can do.
And she basically goes, well, if there's certainly a more gentle lifestyle for some that may have difficulty adjusting to a mundane life, then by all means, we appreciate your help.
The appreciation is just mine. While I'm here, I was hoping to bless my reliquary again so that I may better serve the Lord.
Yeah, talk to me about this reliquary, please, Frederick.
Oh, it's a left-handed silver gauntlet with a eye painted on it.
Oh, very good. She basically goes, why? Yes, I suppose I could do that. Please place it over here on this altar, and I will perform the ritual. And you do so, and 10 minutes later, after she's spoken a variety of words to Helm, she certainly puts his will into her fingertips, and as she glows with gentle golden light, it tingles over the gauntlet itself, and you can see, or rather more sense, a divine presence around it. And she basically goes, Torm should be in... Okay, I need a religious sort of thing to think of. Torm's hand has moved closer to this gauntlet, and through your own hand may you prove your own help and consideration for the world, striking wickedness wherever you should find it, and bringing peace to all good folk. And with that, you have a blessed gauntlet.
I shall reaffix it to my hand, bid her adieu, and head out to join Raziv.
Very good, very good. So you're just wearing like one blue gauntlet on your hand.
One gauntlet on the left hand, and then a white glove on the right.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. Oh, come on! Why am I yawning? Why am I yawning?
Because I'm contaminating us all with my
Yeah.
yawn.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, yawning is contagious. Like,
Yeah. Ugh. So, if I do remember, Angheron's Day is coming up, and what you can see is there is certainly a variety of taverns that are setting aside some sort of visage of Anghyrons to basically show their respect for one of the lords, or rather the founder of Waterdeep, and one of the first open lords, and it's basically a patrons not patrons, a patriotic day for Waterdeep people, essentially. It's one of those kind of days. And that one seems to be about 5 days in the future, from what you can tell. And people are just getting on the bandwagon early, just in case. But aside from that, everybody's order is dealt with. And you make your way over to Trollskull Manor. Before you do get there, though, or rather by the time you do get there, Corin, you did get a tip-off that Falson seemed to have been brought out by a couple of people who had the misfortune of getting caught up with him, and you found out that they live on Trollskull Manor. And being in the kind of situation you are with Falson, you decided to wait for him there, back at Trollskull Manor.
Sorry, quick question. Because we popped by my home on the way, did I have anything formal that fit
You picked it up on your way home, and you promptly brought it back with you to Trollskull Manor.
Got it. Yeah.
Along with maybe a collection of other clothes, too, for the future.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so essentially, you're out here, and you've been getting to know the locals a little bit, Corin. But yeah, your connection with Falson is a bit of a mystery for the rest of the guys. But you're basically there, having been carted over here in a horse-drawn sort of dray, as they call it. And after having done that, you guys will see that waiting outside your place is a arms crossed, foot tapping on the ground, silver dragonborn, who sees Falson coming over and kind of responds in a sudden reaction. And maybe you can roleplay this from here.
She seems kind of mostly annoyed at seeing Farlson there, but she's just kind of watching you guys from a distance as you approach your own house.
Okay, yeah. So for everybody else, there is a dragonborn lady standing just in front of your house.
Like in front of the door, or?
Yeah, a little bit right there. Yeah, she's next to the porch.
Oh, joy, another one. Pardon me. Would you mind letting me know what you're doing in front of my home?
I was just wondering what your affinity with this guy is. She kind of clicks her tongue just a little bit sharply.
Nice.
Well, why don't you? Well, this place is quite awfully haunted, and he claims to be able to take care of it.
Oh, really? How do you plan to do that?
With the power of Helm's Light and a little bit of super holy water.
That's a load of horseshit!
Oh my.
Lovely.
That doesn't make any sense. How can water be horseshit? It's water. Blessed by the gods.
She just kind of seems absolutely disgusted right now, both at the mention of horseshit and at the sight of him, so...
Don't mind this sassy child. Let's get to the matter.
Child?
You know, I did think that you were being a bit untruthful earlier.
What was I untruthful about?
Well, first you said that you woke up our companion, which you clearly didn't.
But he awoken.
Yes, because we had already given him the...
Pong is squinting his eyes at it. He's just like, I know what you did.
Giving them who? Giving them what?
Herbs.
Herbs. Herbs. What god-awful idea was herbs? It's not even a proper potion. I could light up a cigarette right now with some hashish. That won't wake me up. That'll do the opposite. Herbs don't do anything like that. It's only the power of the lords that can do that.
There's a quite simple solution to this problem. Either he does what he said he would, which is exorcise the ghost, or I burn him to cinders for lying. And I don't know, can I roll intimidation for that?
Yeah. So what's your context here again?
That if he lied to us about being able to handle the ghost, that'll just burn him to cinders.
Is this you,
essentially.
Adrian?
Yes.
You fully believe that he is a man of his word who has the power after your insight of 5
Oh, I
before.
I have no doubt.
Exactly.
It's not so much. How do I put this? It's not so much that I'm being serious as when I say it, as that I want. I don't even know their name yet, but I want the Silver Dragonborn to think I am serious in
Gotcha.
saying this.
Okay. Then that will be a deception to deceive that you think that Big Biff that Falson is being false. Deception check to think
She
that
was
Falson is being false.
deceived.
Well, you can make an insight check.
Oh,
I mean, this will be really weird if you are able to perceive this, and the level of this, like, this con just goes deeper and
Yeah.
deeper. No,
So
you believe that this guy, and I think after this, people are just gonna metagame the fuck out of this. So, after that inside of 7, you fully believe that this person who is questioning Falson they're genuinely questioning his legitimacy. It's a very complex, interwoven set of social mind games going on right now with God only knows what kind of meta implications. It's pretty messy at the moment.
Basically, you think I will murder him if he turns out to be lying.
Okay.
yeah,
she's just kind of like nodding a little bit. Like she's still got her arms crossed, but she seems slightly more relaxed.
Okay.
yeah. Megara kind of gets like this sinister smile, and she she puts like one of her clawed fingers at Follison's like chin, just sort of like underneath it, sort of like, you know, a finger going up against his chin, and she's like, "Well, if he doesn't burn you, I'll certainly do something about it."
Jeez, you
This
hired
became-
the guy, and
Man.
why do you all
Hey.
hate
became
him?
awfully violent.
Yeah.
If you do not wish to have my services, I shall leave. But
No.
there are no refunds.
I've already retained your services for the exorcism. Magra, please put your hand away. There's
She
no need
she
for
kinda-
that level.
Yeah,
over
I agree. We should trust this guy for once, and if he died, we will make sure he was the first to die from this ghost if he failed.
she blinks and sort of puts her hand to her mouth and says, "Oh dear, sorry. Sometimes I get a bit carried away with."
Murder threats, yes, it happens to all of us.
By heavens, not me. But shall we go inside? I have a ghost to deal with.
Yes, indeed. Now, being the exorcist that you are, it is common that you prepare your state of affairs with familiarizing yourself with the ghost and familiarizing yourself with the settings that are going on.
Corin just stepped away to let them do it, but she says before they leave, she's just like, "May I join you guys on this? I am truly interested to see if he is holding up his end of the bargain here."
Yes, I suppose this is simply the week of letting strangers into my home. Why not? Go ahead.
This is your home,
Well,
paper.
Might as well get this. Might as well doing it now before doing it later. Say aye.
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 All right, very well. So, yeah, Folson, you're the one leading the way on this. Let's see how you proceed. Conduct your exorcism. You've been paid to do so.
I hold my gauntlet up high. Yes, I can feel many ghosts around. Some of them are even right behind you. We shall take care of this forthright. And I take a bottle of super holy water, TM, and pour it all over the gauntlet. This shall be the cure to your ghost problem. And start walking around, waving it, making ooh sounds as I try to locate the ghost.
Ah, awesome. Okay, okay, yeah. So you pour the holy water on your gauntlet of helm.
Yeah, super holy water.
Super holy water. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Cool. Um, let's see. So, yeah.
I'll
You
make one of the doors slam.
Yeah, it's cool. You feel your gauntlet pull you in a certain direction. Takes you down south a little bit towards the pantry area.
Yes, I really feel something here.
And
It's
then
strong.
you feel it take you towards the kitchen area.
Oh, what? Are you gonna go get yourself a snack now?
It's a poultrygeist.
Oh, no! No!
Inspiration.
No! I refuse. It was a great pun, but no. Oh, no. Oh, I wasn't ready for that. Oh, no. Okay.
We shall lay the snack down on this ghost.
Fuck you. Right.
That's double inspiration right there.
Oh. So, yeah. You feel the presence coming from the chimney here.
I'm going to ready a firebolt because it's what's appropriate for a chimney.
I mean, it is, yeah. But your gauntlet, fit in a fist-like, well, in a finger splayed forward manner, kind of aims out and like points towards that fireplace. Your like gauntlet of helm gently pushing you or gently leaning you towards that location, showing you that you should venture closer.
I shall start pulling closer to the fireplace, putting my hand up towards the grid.
Certainly. So at this point, the pulling stops,
And move a bit closer.
you're before this dark, dusty chimney.
Yes, there's a very strong spirit haunting your chimney.
You stand just in front of you, in front of it. How do you proceed?
I'm gonna move up like right behind him, kind of to back him
Certainly.
up.
Corin is too, but she's just intensely judging him, like just trying to see if he falters at all.
Yeah, certainly.
Begone, spirit! Go up the chimney and out of this home.
So this is not right. That's not right. So
Contra.
yeah. So we're begone fought. Begone fought with a sudden immense that kind of reverberates through this metal chimney. A sudden whoosh of thick, black, smoky dust comes straight down and, well, just hovers around Mr. Folsom. He is completely enveloped in dark, well, chimney dust. Give me a dexterity saving throw, please, Folsom.
Yeah, I'm not gonna firebolt the dust.
So you do that, and you succeed. And basically, you are covered in black soot, head to toe. You look like a racial kind of bad racist at the moment.
Corin's trying hard not to giggle at him.
I'm gonna clean him up. Prestidigitation.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Now, when you do this, it basically works like you do a Hoover maneuver, I imagine. You just basically just like as if you smacked him with just like a fly swatter to knock all the soot out. Your Fomataji just looks like it does that. And then it just like reverses back to being covering him.
Well, okay then. I imagine this is probably bad.
Well, it's certainly keeping him dirty. That much is clear.
Well, I see. You're dealing with a soot demon. It happens when you don't properly burn your logs.
Hmm.
An angry druid turned to a tree, got chopped down, and you didn't ceremoniously burn him.
I actually
That is
really
very
love
wrong
this.
indeed.
I love this. This
I,
idea.
for the sake of for the fancy, I'm going to roll insight on that.
No, you will not. He's currently in the middle of his dealings. You know,
Okay.
he's getting there. He's going through the process at the moment. Wait until he's either completed his session or not.
I
Mhm.
shall hold my fist up and fist pump it down. Yeah, once
You fist pump it down to do what?
to cast Word of Radiance, saying, "Helm shall banish you."
So each thing you can see. Mm-hmm. Very good. Okay. You do this. There is a silence. Make a dexterity saving throw. Alright. You get your feet suddenly taken out from under your position, and you just, as you're like fist pumped down to the ground, and you suddenly just find yourself landing in a sudden smack to the ground. And you leave like a soot imprint of your body, but with a comical set of like wiped out eyes and a smile. That kind of is like a shadowy version of yourself just laying there as you pick yourself up.
I, in vain, wipe off the soot, knowing it'll come right back. Say, well, this one may be trouble. And I shall take another bottle of super holy water, uncork it, and splash it into the fireplace.
You do so, and it collects up to make a dirty water that collects up in the fireplace. Meanwhile, while you're doing that, for everyone who's observing, you see the soot outline he made on the ground move. You see.
I'm gonna launch my firebolt that I had prepared at it as soon as I see it move. So I'm
Very
not
good.
trusting it.
Roll to attack.
Boom.
Very good. That's a hit. You scorch the floor and you miss it, and the shadow gives like a comical sort of that face as he puts it towards his cheeks, like, "Oh no, you almost hit me," sort of, but no sound. It's just got that look to him as he moves from the floor where he was. He turns around and he basically dances in spot as if he was a cowboy.
Okay, so at this point, Megara will basically take in a breath and then she'll blow out purple flames. She's going to cast Fairy Fire.
Very good. Please, yeah. Interesting. Okay, I would need you, please, to show me a 20-foot area cube you cast the spell into. This is important.
Yeah, so yeah. It's basically going to hit everyone in this room because that's
I need
kind
you
of
to draw it. And
yeah.
you can use that during the draw spell.
Yeah. So because it's like
Draw it with the draw tool, making the draw shape.
there's a right. There's draw shape. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, a 20-foot cube.
Yeah, and
Yes.
of course, as I said, like I can't cast it beyond the wall, so it's basically even if I cast it in the corner, it's going to hit.
All right. You
At
are
least.
yet to draw the cube, so I shall do it for you.
Yeah, I've done
You've
it. That's
Ah,
what I'm
sweet.
saying. Like
Excellent. Alrighty then. So each creature that doesn't
It
choose
will-
to automatically does everybody choose to automatically fail and be affected by this?
I will.
Would I know what the spell is?
Give me an Arcana.
One moment.
No, you do not. This is going to hurt you. This will make you catch on fire. You will be hurt
Yeah,
by
no,
the spell.
I've known her for all of like
A day.
a day. So I'm not gonna trust a random stranger pretty much casting spells on me.
All right.
So,
Yeah.
dexterity saving throw.
Yes. That is a
Which one?
failure, and you shall be lit up in magical fairy fire.
Don't worry, I will not let you get hurt. The god Helm shall protect you from these dangerous flames.
As to everybody else, I need to. You're the cast. Who's the caster? Megara, you're the caster.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Corin. Do you choose? In fact, hang on. All right. Each object in the 20-foot cube within range, any creature in the area. Yes, any creature. So,
Yeah,
Corin
that's the
and
key word.
Folson, please give me a dexterity saving throw. All right. What's your DC, Magra? Or Magara?
The DC is
Should be 13, probably.
Yeah, 13.
13. You both pass and resist. Where is it? Fuck me in the asshole. I don't need this right now. Oh, boop, 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 boop. Shibbity-ba-dap, bump, bibbity-boop. Bop-bop-a-da-bop. This is the time to be spooky. Bump-bop-a-da-bop.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess this is tabletop Gram now.
Yes. Right, okay. Well done. Suddenly before you, as you can see now enveloped in this radiant violet, red, green, and blue sort of silhouette, you can see standing above this chalked outline a half-elf looking spectre that I will show to you now. And it stands there as he kind of looks at you. He doesn't look particularly like that handout. He looks like he's maintained his half-elvish sort of features, as he does seem like a male half-elf. However, if you guys intend to attack him, we shall roll initiative.
Are we deciding to attack it?
That's up to
I
you.
am. I'm exercising it.
That's
Yeah,
What?
I will most certainly. This thing has messed with me, so.
Yeah. That's all I needed to know. Alrighty,
Oh,
yeah.
I forgot to select my token when I did that. Darn it.
Yeah, you do it.
I had thought I had
In
selected
fact, you know
it,
what?
but
Just everybody stop for a second. Now do it. Now do your rolls.
Isn't there a way to actually just roll for the entire group?
No,
All over again, or
no, there is not. I wish there was, because I could save
I'm-
so
I'll look that up.
many
I'm
group
pretty sure there
mod-
is.
mobs rolling. I would love to do it, but I can't. I've asked the guy
Yeah,
who scripts code in Roll20, and he says, nope, sigh, wish we could, but we can't. So if you find a way, that will make my dick wet for the evening, I'll tell you that now. Because it will save me so much time, and it would be great. However, we begin with Corin, you first.
She's gonna attempt to firebolt it.
Alright, you are at point blank range with a ranged spell attack, which will be at disadvantage. That being said, this is a hit.
Fairy Fire also grants advantage, though, so it would balance out.
Yep, a regular attack. Well played, yes. This is a hit. Roll damage.
1 second.
Click the firebolt as it appears in the chat right there. Nope, that's hitting it again. Click the firebolt.
Okay, I clicked the
word.
first one.
There we go. Nice. So you do a good point of 2 points of damage, as it does definitely strike at him for sure, and does mess him up somewhat, as his flickering appearance is definitely moved around.
She's
Okay.
also gonna move 5 feet to the right to give an another space where she was just at.
Okay, very cool. Yeah. Razuf, it is now your turn, and you've not put yourself right over there, so that's where you shall be.
Yep. Jump over the counter and run over.
It's a pretty high counter. You can give me an acrobatics check, please, to try and get over it.
All right.
Yeah, that would do. You cross over and leap across to the other side.
Doesn't count as difficult terrain.
No, just like hopped over it. Yeah,
I can't.
it's really close and stuck in. You can fight from the other side of the doorway there, since it's an open doorway.
Alright. And I try to attack it with my mace.
Okay.
Do I hit?
That is also a hit.
Right, and I use my divine smite. And you'll piss off, ghost.
Very good. Roll me another d8 in there, please. This is undead.
Wait, isn't it 3d8? It's...
Correct, it's an undead. It's an undead.
No, it's 5d8 if it's undead, I think.
No, it's not 5d8. It's
Wait.
two. It's an extra d8 if it's an undead enemy.
Correct.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry.
So it'd be 2d8 in this case.
Yep.
Or 3d8. I don't know.
Three. So I just rolled one more.
Yeah.
Alright.
Of course.
Awesome. Yeah, cool. So yeah, this will do 10. Well, yeah, your attack becomes hurling. So now this becomes 14 points of damage, which does completely mess up this ghost or the spectre before you, as that sudden, divining smite definitely does really get in at him, and it definitely doesn't help him sustain himself. Alright, Adrian, it's your turn.
Yeah, okay. Melee range. Firebolt, which is
Alright,
not
yeah.
at advantage because it's melee range, but isn't disadvantaged because of fairy fire.
Yep, that is a miss. Simply as you just are too caught up in the sudden commotion to concentrate on casting the spell to get it to fire off, and that just basically just goes to the ground.
And I'm gonna use my movement to try and just back up.
Alrighty. That
And
will
I'm
be
guessing
an
I'll take an
attack.
opportunity attack,
You
yeah.
will. You will regret this as he
Ratchet
reaches
crit
his
and
forward.
kill me in one hit.
He takes his spectral hand forward, and he reaches out with his undead fingertips that turn into skeletal fingertips towards you.
Wait,
That
did you
is
get my
a 19.
Hey, it wasn't a crit though.
It's not a crit. However, I'm gonna need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Hey, GM, did you get my initiative roll?
Did you click your token correctly and roll for your initiative again? Because you're not on here, which is
He
unfortunate.
is
Huh.
as 7
That's good.
now.
You'll be
Okay.
up next.
That is very odd.
Okay. There we go. Right. Yes. So, you passed the DC. Okay. Okay.
How much damage do I take?
I'm going to tell you soon.
I got it.
So just remember. Okay. Alright, so yeah, he basically does 12 points of necrotic damage to you. You do not
Ouch.
reduce your maximum, and he basically sort of steals just a portion of your life force to carry on.
Adrian looks like he's about to pass the fuck out.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, so from here now it is Ponk's turn.
Alright, I assume I can hit that spectre?
You can certainly bring your fists in front of you and punch into the spectre, certainly. This will be your first time ever dealing with a spectre.
Okay, I gonna try out this thing, furry or bro.
Alright, excellent. Go for it.
So how does this work? Is it like shot sword followed by 2 martial art?
exactly as if you were attacking any other creature, which would be exactly like that. Your main hand, your offhand. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Your main hand, your offhand, and then an additional bonus action or bonus attack given from your flurry of blows as stated on your character sheet. That is a hit, that is a miss, though it has...
Remember,
They
you
all
have
have advantage.
Yeah, there we go. These are all hits. Roll me damage for all of them. Okay, roll damage, there we go. Again. So that's 11, that's 18. Very nice. You actually do disrupt its being somewhat, as it does wave and wander there. Certainly, as you definitely mess up its partially material being. Magura, it's your turn.
So, she is going to say to it, she says, "What do you mean by last call?"
So in the 6 seconds while Adrian comes away looking deadly necrotic, Ponk punching and kicking of short sword into its being, Razuf wholly lit up with radiant divine smite, bringing it down into the spectre's being, and after the pair of them give fire bolts to try and pour into its being, you go, "So what do you mean by last call?"
Yeah.
5 seconds of combat. At which point, the Spectre just simply looks at you with some intense hatred and frustration, but doesn't respond.
Okay then. So she's gonna go Eldritch Blast.
Okay, roll it. That is a hit, and there is the little Pokemon. And, yeah, that is... Wait, hang on. This is force damage, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see.
Oh wait.
Yeah, it's fine. Yep, it will definitely be messed up from that blast, but it won't die. Not yet. Or at least it won't be sent back to undeath. Alright, I hear nothing, so I shall continue.
Yep.
Remington, it's your turn. I will say that you...
Oh, it's Farlson. This is from the old character sheet. It needs an update.
Okay, so, Farlson, what do you do this round?
You all are doing it all wrong, except for a paladin friend. This is how you get rid of a specter.
Now, you have advantage. Oh, never mind. Okay, each creature you can see. Now, I'd like to say you can see this creature, but your eyes are stinging with soot. So, I want you to make me a Constitution saving throw first, please. That is the DC. You pass and you push through the pain to open up your eyes enough to see this creature. And yeah, you basically start just a word of radiance. You speak this word, and he's going to have to make a Constitution saving throw. He passes and takes none of the radiant damage.
As a bonus action, I will use Healing Word on our hurting person.
Very well, very good. Adrian, you're healed by 7 hit points.
Neat.
Alright. The Spectre, turning to you, Magura, comes forward. Very good.
It would take... Nobody wants to take an opportunity attack?
I'm not offering it,
Uh.
and if nobody does, you can hold your peace, and I can move on.
I'm saving my reaction.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah, no.
Do you want to use your reaction, False?
Yes.
There we go.
Strike it.
You cut out, what did you say?
I'd like to strike it with a rapier.
Go for it. That is a hit, and you weaken its being, but it continues to persist in this existence, as it has some hatred that it aims towards Magua. As it comes forward, it goes to try to touch you with its spectral grasp. It does an 18. It does. I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw, please, Magua.
Okay, wait, is this... Did it make an attack of 18?
Yes, it did.
Okay, well, I'm going to...
Very good, very good. Very good. When you are hit by a target, yeah. What is your AC is 16 normally, so yeah, this will be a hit. And with that, he will go over here. Through the wall.
How do you have an AC of 16?
They're hiding some heavy armor underneath all their bonnets and things. Now, I would have given an attack of opportunity, but they have gone straight through to another wall, which will provide full cover. So I won't allow any skirting of that regard. And from there, they are fully engulfed in flame. It will continue to follow them. Let's see. 1 second. Can they fly? Yeah, they do fly. He will not go down, but instead, he will ascend upwards. He goes upwards. How do you respond?
I've got him on the ropes.
Yes,
So it's on the... So like it went through the ceiling?
Yes, it did.
Slippery little eel.
Indeed. How do you guys choose to respond?
Chase.
Yeah.
There we go. We will keep things in turn order. So, Corin, you're next.
1 second. That's the stairs?
I don't know where you're looking.
I meant that. Are these the stairs?
Those are stairs going outside, but to get to them... I mean, going upstairs, but to get to them, we gotta go outside the building to go up them.
You go.
1 second. This map is
You're
like
gonna want to go
bothering
out
my
this
eyes.
door and around.
Exactly, yes.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do that.
And you see that takes you, like, up over here. But I gotta have you run for it, because...
That's a dash right there.
Very good, very good, very good. Alright, Razov, it's your turn.
Alright. I will also chase after it, but I will try to go this way.
Right.
Over the counter.
Yes. Now, I'm gonna say you could do it. Now, Magua, your fairy fire only lasts for 1 minute, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Very, very good. Okay then. So yes. Yeah. Very, very good. Very good. Very good. Yes. So Adrian, it's your turn.
Oh wait, I was just waiting for you to say acrobatic check.
No, I said you already passed it before, so I will allow it again.
Oh, how far can I run then?
I can dash up here
Okay.
with my ruler math, so that's as far as I'll go. I'm just gonna call out, don't split up too far or else it'll get us.
All right. Honk, it's your turn.
Okay. I assume I don't see the ghost anymore.
No, you do not.
He's moving upstairs, is it correct?
It went straight through the ceiling to the next floor, you imagine.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And I'm going to go into a dodge action, and that will be my turn.
Very good. Okay. I'm doing this because it is definitely trying to survive you, and it's waiting out the fairy fire. Magua, it's your turn.
Okay, so, is this a window down next to, Falson?
That is a door.
Okay then.
Like this one is a door. And like all these large empty boxes are doors.
Okay then. So she'll go out.
The door.
She'll go out this door.
Yeah.
Let's see. So that's 1, 2. Oh wait, I'll use the actual. How you do the movement thing on this again?
Yeah, please.
I was trying to think. It's Q, right? Yep. Okay. So she'll spend 15 movement to get out here, and then the remaining 15 movement, 15 feet,
fly.
she's gonna fly. Yep.
Very, very nice. Yes. Now, I'm going to put you respectively. So, you fly up here. And, through the floorboards or through the planks, you can see that in the spare room, your ghost friend is there. He has full cover because of the planks in front of the windows and the window itself, but he is definitely there. You can see him glowing with your fairy fire.
Just give a friendly wave.
So she'll call out that where he is. She'll be like, spare room right up in the kitchen. And let's see. So her curse, I'm not sure if it just says, okay, you gain the ability to place a fatal curse. The bonus action, one creature you can see. So can I actually see it?
You can. If you have a
Yep.
roll to attack, it's fully covered. If it's a con
Yep.
or saving throw, you can do the spell.
So yeah, she's going to use her curse, which is just as a bonus action. She puts this
What?
little orb that flows around him.
Wow. Okay. You gain bonus to damage roll against the cursed creature. Any attack you make against the cursed creature, the target dies. You gain hit points equal to your warlock. Very nice. Okay. Okay. Very good. Very good. Alrighty then. Yeah. It is cursed. Huh?
And I'll use her action to try and move some of these planks, or can I blast them with Eldritch Blast? Because it is force.
You've spent your action to do the curse, so no blasting of the
That's
boards yet.
That's a bonus action.
Eldritch Blast shouldn't be a bonus action.
No,
No, I'm
the
saying-
curse
Oh,
is the
Hexblade
bonus
is blown.
action.
Oh! Then go for it, yeah.
Okay, so this is just a straight up attack against the boards.
Alright, go for
So
it.
again, she shoots dark energy out of her mouth.
It hits, and the boards erupt with eldritch energy that just snaps them all apart and breaks them before you as they tumble to the ground beneath. Alright, Folson, it's your turn.
I'll use my action to wipe off. Use my super holy water to try and clean off the soot on my face.
You pour it across, and yes, this removes the soot over your body and congeals in a black puddle on your feet.
And I'll use my bonus action to do a dash action and run to outside the door she just went out and run straight towards the stairs.
Certainly. It's worth mentioning that they may need their money back if you're not the one to land the finishing blow. Anyway, since you said nothing to that, it is now the creature's turn.
30, 60.
Alright, yeah, you continue to do your turn.
There we go, and I look up and see the tiefling flying and didn't realize it could. I'm like, what the hell is it doing? Okay.
Indeed.
That-
Indeed. Alright, so you are a problem for this creature. You are definitely a problem for this creature. This spectre, as you are the one that's keeping it being seen. So, it shall come forward to the unblasted window, and with its ethereal hand reaches forward to try and touch you. It misses. And from there, it basically goes up yet another floor. You can try to give me an attack of opportunity, but I will severely weaken this as it is behind a fully intact wooden glass window.
Yeah, and she doesn't have a melee weapon.
Correct.
So
You
yeah,
can punch
she
it.
can't-
Punch the ghost. There's nothing stopping you from doing that.
Yeah, true, but so I don't even have unarmed strike on my.
Yeah, you would probably take more damage than the ghost anyway by punching a glass window with your bare hand. So it's probably
Yeah.
the best
So yeah,
choice.
she's not gonna use her reaction on that anyway, just in case.
Alrighty. So, yeah. You say that. Corin, it's your go.
Alright, she's just gonna dash action and she's gonna not go out of the window. What? She's gonna I counted it out and this is 60 right here, so that's
That
where
is a
she will
door,
end up.
actually.
It's
Oh wait, that's a door?
Yeah,
Shoot.
the little bars are doors and the big ones are windows. I'm pretty sure.
Reverse that around.
Okay.
Oh, okay, so yeah, she is gonna end up back there again. Because she dashed there.
Let's see. I'm sorry. Okay. That's your turn.
No.
Okay, I heard a no, and then you cut out. Razov,
Sorry,
it's your turn.
Right, just continue running. Wait, I can go that far.
Okay. Excellent. I'm sorry I'm doing this. It wants to live and pest you another day, and it's trying to wait out Magara's fairy fire. So it is kiting and dodging, certainly. So,
Right.
where are we next?
that makes it fun.
Alright, Adrian, it's your turn.
Okay. So I can move all the way up here. Do I happen to see anything through any of the windows
No,
by any
you do
chance?
not at all. Not at all.
I didn't think so, considering it would be on the opposite side of the building, but it doesn't hurt to ask.
Hmm. Alright, Honk, it's your turn. Oh,
Don't people have turn undead?
Okay.
No?
I can't go up anyway. There's no mean I can do this.
You gotta climb.
Hmm.
Stairs.
Yeah. Why is the stair?
Over here. That will then take you up over here. This is your hole.
Okay. I'm gonna try. I think there is one key to give me a movement.
Step of the wind. Is that ability? You can make an additional dash action. We have to spending one key point.
Yeah. Let's try it.
Okay, go for it.
I am currently at 40. My 40 is my current speed, so I'm gonna go 80 feet. Where would I be?
120
Right?
feet is how far you can dash.
So 60 feet total.
No. You can dash and then dash again with step of the wind to a full length of 120 feet in total.
Oh,
40
nice.
plus 40 plus 40.
Yeah. I'm trying to look at the map, see where the stair actually is.
I've shown you where the stairs actually are. Allow me. 15, 25, 65, 80. And then from 80 you get here. And then from 145, which is 80, we need another 40, which is 185 we need you to get to. And you want to get up to more stairs. So at 145, move another 40, which basically you can get to here on the second floor.
Okay.
There we go.
For a sudden, you guys see like a kobold just suddenly from the first floor going up to the second floor and just past you guys.
Indeed, he charges around. Maguro, it's your turn.
Okay then. So she's just gonna fly straight up again.
Certainly, put yourself on the map where you're going to be.
So I'm shooting this at the third floor, yeah.
You look in this floor, this master bedroom, or what used to be it, and you don't see him.
He's juking me.
Indeed.
Yeah, there's no ghost in my room. That's good.
Alrighty.
So how much movement would that be to go from
10 feet. Straight
10
vertically.
feet? Okay, so then she will she'll have to go there. She can't exactly. Unless she does that, can she see into the window from there?
She can, and the private bath has nobody in it.
Okay. That'll be her turn then.
Falson, it's your
Spooky,
turn.
scary,
I'll use my action to run up the stairs
Yep,
for dash. 30 feet.
certainly.
1, 2.
Alright, very good, very good.
Can I use my bonus action to dash again with a cunning action and
Yes, you can.
go upstairs?
Yeah, you can use your cunning action, yeah.
Ooh, so
All right,
spot
and
on.
I'd like to look around, see if I can see the specter anywhere on the 3rd floor from where I'm at.
You do not. And on this end of the initiative order, with you guys hunting down this spectre on the run, we will leave that session here for today.